for Cynthia's of Bend, and I'm a service technician. I also head the embroidery club. I'd like to say I teach it, but it's really sharing of ideas and information. I also teach beginning sewing, and I have a custom embroidery and sublimation business. So today we're going to talk about cleaning machines. Now, I'm sure that you can understand that I clean a lot of machines. So I average about 6 a day. So you might say, wow, 6 a day in 7.5 hours, that's not very many. But sometimes you get machines that have very interesting problems. Like we took a machine in once that somebody had spilled what they said was soda, but it suspiciously smelled like sangria. But no judgment. We do not judge. Now, every day, people in the front, the sales ladies, Elaine, Karen, Kimberly, Kathy, they might hear me say, "Oh my gosh." And that means that there might be a bug in the machine. And I don't mean a bug that's making it break or something, but a bug like going to crawl on you. And usually they're dead. But sometimes I want to give out Dirty Gertie awards. And I know that when I took my machine into Cynthia's, that I was the Dirty Gertie award winner every time, because Bill would tell me, this machine is really dirty. And I said to him, well, when Karen DeFord comes in, you should tell her clean her machines, because she knows how to. But so, it's like the shoemaker's children. Shoemaker's children do not have good shoes. They have yucky shoes. And so today we're going to talk about cleaning our machines. I have a Brother machine and a Janome machine here on this table. I'm going to tell you what you need really to clean it. You need a brush. You need your favorite beverage. For me, it's Diet Dr. Pepper. You should have some alcohol. I don't mean alcohol to drink, but, rubbing alcohol. You might need that. And you need an can of air. Do not blow into your machine. Well, everybody's breath has moisture in it. And when you blow out, the moisture can get in the machine and you could cause rust. And this is really important for sergers because they have those air threaders and you don't want to get spit in there. I use this cleaner because it's an everyday cleaner, but use whatever you have. And Q-tips. And this device, which is an Old Spice container, still has the holes, and I put needles in here because guess what? If you put them someplace, you're not going to sit on them or stab yourself with them. I have stabbed myself many times. You're going to need a screwdriver. You're going to need a piece of cardstock, not paper. It needs to be a little bit thicker than paper, but not as thick as a credit card. So cardstock is pretty good. In fact, this one might be a little thick, but we're going to go with it and see what we can do. Now, my husband and children have given me all kinds of little machine vacuums. These are the tools that I recommend. I purchased these at Cynthia's before I started working there. And they do cost $21.99, and I have some of the pieces out that I'm going to use. It comes with 8 pieces and 8 different adapters. So you can vacuum your computer keyboard with it, but really, I leave that to my husband. That's his job. And I just vacuum all kinds of machines with this. So we're going to get started cleaning the machine. And I've already unscrewed the screws on the needle plates because that's boring. And I didn't think you wanted to see that. So the needle plate is unscrewed, and I'm going to take the needle out because that way I won't stab myself. And I'm going to put it in the Old Spice container. And then I'm going to take the foot off. Remember, lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, so make sure that you go left. So I've unscrewed the 2 screws on this Brother machine. And so I'm going to pull the needle plate off. And I'm going to look in here and say, oh my gosh, dirty. Might be a dirty Gertie. This is the bobbin case. Most machines have a bobbin case. They might not look like this. They might be the other direction, vertical versus horizontal. And what I'm going to look for first is any needle strikes. So I'm going to look on the needle plate, and you're looking for something that's not smooth. Okay, none there. But I'm going to take my air can and I'm going to blow it off. And then I'm going to feel around the edge. This is the hook, but I'm going to feel around the edge, because what happens is the hook grabs the upper thread and then it pulls it around to make the stitch with the bobbin thread. And people think that, oh, a needle strike isn't significant because it's so small. But what's true is that little piece of roughness will grab the thread and keep it from making a stitch. So if your machine starts not making stitches, you might want to look to see if you've got a needle strike either on your bobbin case or on your needle plate. So then we are going to go to the inside here, and you can see that I've got some threads. And sometimes at Cynthia's, I like to pick all the lint out and save it for people because I want them to know how much lint they have. I'm very helpful. I want to call your attention to the feed dogs here. People will sometimes write on their repair slip that the feed dogs need to be adjusted. In reality, they have so much gunk in the feed dog that the feed dogs can't get up against the needle plate. And as you can see, just in one little swipe with my brush, I was able to get that entire glump of lint. So you want to make sure that your feed dogs are clean and don't have those glunks. I don't know what the technical term for that is. Glunk seems appropriate. Now you'll see here I've got the bobbin case, and what you want to do is take the cardstock and get right in the tension for the bobbin and just move it like this and then pull it out. Now you can really only use the corner one time, but this is such nice cardstock, I think I can use it twice. This is the bobbin case from my big machine back there, and I'm going to show you on this kind of bobbin how you would do the same maneuver. It goes right in here to the tension, and then you pull it out. And if you see this, I don't know if you can see that little bit of lint that came out with the paper. It's on the tip of my finger. Believe it or not, that little bit of lint can keep the tension from the bobbin thread so that the tension is out of whack. And you might say, oh my gosh, my tension is out of whack. Let me take it in to be repaired, when you could have fixed it with a corner of a paper. I started fixing machines because when I still lived in California, I only started working on embroidery after my kids were in bed. So usually I'd start about 8 o'clock at night, and something would normally happen along about 10, 11, and I don't know a single repair place that's open at that time. And if you call 1-800-HELP-ME for your sewing machine, you usually get somebody in a different country that wants your Visa number. Don't give it to them, because if you do, they'll have your bank information. I want to explain something about this black ring down here. If you pull that out with a screwdriver or a pair of tweezers, this is actually a magnet. And it's there so that if a needle breaks, it doesn't get stuck in one of your gears beneath. And that is why we do not recommend using metal bobbins, because you're defeating the purpose. If you have a metal bobbin in there, the magnet is attracting the metal bobbin and it's not going to catch your broken needles. So on a brother machine, and this is extremely important, you have to put the metal needle place on first. So after you screwed the metal plate down with the screws on tightly, you put the gray plate on. Whoops, get it on there flat. And then you're going to put your bobbin thread in and close it up. I'm just going to clean the gunk off the bed of this. Now we have better cleaning solutions at Cynthia's, and I would be able to get this green paint off and this black off of the thread holder. For those of you that did watch that video on embroidering a bucket bag, you would have seen that I had thread hanging over the flywheel. Don't do that. That's one way to lose an entire spool of thread as it winds around your flywheel. Ask me how I know. I did that once. And I think we've all done things once. Also, when you're cleaning your machine, look under the bobbin winder, because sometimes you might find a little prize. Now, if I was at work, I have a screwdriver, which has little claws that helps me get this off. But I don't have it here. But I can see that there is some thread wound around the bottom of this bobbin winder. I don't wind bobbins, so I assume this has been here since the previous owner had it. I love this machine. I never noticed there was thread under that bobbin winder. I think that's thread. Looks like navy blue thread. So that's pretty much it for cleaning this brother. Now we're going to switch over to the Janome. I'm going to show you some differences. This is a Janome mimeograph. I'm sorry, there's 3 outtakes already. Read it. That's what it is. Memorycraft, Janome. Okay, so we're going to take, I've never even seen this machine before, but I bought it. I know that's crazy. I can't get this off. Bill, help me. Oh, okay, look at this. Dirty Gertie contender here for you. So I've taken the screw out of this one, and we're going to simply lift it up. We're going to get rid of the needle, put the needle in my spice container that I don't see right now, and we're going to do the same thing, get this stuff out. This has a magnet also. Now, come a little closer. Look in the center here, and you will see this little bit of fuzz, dead center. Don't take that out. It's called a wick. I can't tell you how many people bring their machines in and they've helped themselves to taking that lint out of there, and the lint is a wick that needs to have oil on it so that it keeps the machine in good working order. So don't take that little wick out, because you could have saved yourself thinking your machine was broken by just leaving it in there. So I am going to just show you that the feed dogs on this machine also have that little bit of gunk. I'm pushing it out the back. So there it is. See how it's straight line because it was in the feed dogs. And there's actually a lot of lint in this machine. And I'm going to start vacuuming and get this cleaned out. So, by the magic of video, this is all vacuumed out like magic. And we're going to put the magnet back in, and then if I was at the workbench, I'd put some oil on that wick. I'd oil the gears here. And then you're going to, Bill likes to come by when I'm getting ready to put the needle plate on and say, don't forget the bobbin case. So you're going to put the bobbin case in, and again, there's that little bit of give. Then you're going to put the needle plate on and put the screw in, and you're set. Wipe it down, and your machine is clean. Now, what I have showed you here in this video is by no means to replace having your machine service. When we service your machine, the entire machine is taken apart, and we check all of the functions of the machine. The tension. For these computer machines, we go through all the settings, make sure that the feed dogs are correct, the position of the needle is correct, the tension is correct in the bobbin. We take care of a number of items to make sure that your machine functions at its best. In cleaning your own machine, you're saving yourself from being upset because your stitches didn't show well, or that your fabric didn't feed because your feed dogs were dirty. And happy sewing.